part by Christian Schmidt's Classic Beer.
Good evening from Charlotte, North Carolina. The Charlotte Coliseum, number 9 ranked Syracuse against number 18 ranked North Carolina, the defending national champions. An absolute sellout here tonight and a vital game for both clubs. The Tar Heels now 9-3, have won 6 in a row, and of course the Orange undefeated in 11. And of course with me, Mr. Basketball Dolph Shays. And Dolph, you realize we're over 30 years together now, and no, we haven't changed. You're still tall, and I'm still short. What kind of a game are we looking for?
Jim, I think tonight we're going to see a game by an old master coach and a young coach, both of them who use the same style of play. You're going to see multiple defenses, multiple offenses. You know, Dean Smith was one who started the 4 corners, who started running jump defenses, zone presses, and all of that. And, of course, Jimmy is the same type of a coach.
Well, of course, we have a club of Syracuse with some pretty good experience. Only one senior in our North Carolina club. You think it'll hurt, Dolph?
I don't think it'll hurt now. We're midway through the season. I think it hurt North Carolina early in the season, Jim, when they won 3, lost 3. But since then, they've won 6 in a row. And I think right now they're rolling.
Well, you got a general idea. They're coming out right now. The people down here in North Carolina want those Tar Heels. Meanwhile, also, this game this afternoon with St. John's beating Georgetown by 7 puts all the more impetus onto Syracuse to continue on this undefeated way and become another club after next Monday night when Georgetown comes in. Here comes more Tar Heels. That's quite a reception, Dolph.
Well, you know, we're in Big Blue country, we're in Tar Heel country, we're in ACC country. There's about a dozen Syracusans, and I don't know if you'll ever be able to hear them over this crowd, but I feel that Syracuse is ripe to pull a big upset, and I'm really excited, Jim.
You couldn't help but be excited with this crowd, and so we'll be getting along with this game very shortly, and right after these messages. It's a show. And we have a fine situation for basketball here tonight. And we'll be looking at the number 18 ranked Tar Heels, who, as they split those first 6 that Dolph was talking about a little earlier, they also have won 6, including a victory over that Missouri ball club that had beaten them earlier. So that means we should have ourselves a whale of a game here tonight. Now, we find that the Syracuse team introductions and ready to go. Coming out, Leo Routen. And, of course, that fine senior tri-captain. Now, coming out right behind him, another one of the tries, and it's Bruin, Tony Bruin. And that's the big fella in the center. Number 53 is Andre Hawkins. And then, of course, the point guard at 6'3", number 33, Gene Waldron. And the other tri-captain out of Michigan, Ann Arbor, number 40, Eric Santafer, and, of course, Jim Boeheim as the coach of the Orange, and there he is right there. So we're going to have now the introduction of the Carolina Tar Heels. All right, some pretty spiffy stuff coming from the cheerleaders as well. And coming out is their big freshman center, Brad Doherty, number 42, 6'11", from Black Mount, North Carolina. The next one coming on is number 44, Matt Doherty. Different spelling, but the same pronunciation. Now, the big fellow they like so much, Sam Perkins, number 41, 6'9" junior, 15-point-plus average. Then, of course, this remarkable sophomore, Michael Jordan, number 23. Michael Jordan at 6'5". And then, finally, the only senior on the team was that number 24, Jim Braddock, from Chattanooga, Tennessee. And the coach, Dean Smith, who has one of the big win-lose records of all time. Dean Smith has won 468 games and lost 145 in these some 21 years here with the Tar Heels, and he came so close. So many years he came so close, and then all of a sudden finally grabbed the whole brass ring last year as the defending national champions. So that's the story as far as getting ready to go on the ball game is concerned. The Orange with an 11-0 record. The Tar Heels with 6 in a row right here in Charlotte, and there isn't an empty seat in the house. So we're going to have plenty of action. There's no question about this one. And it was also interesting that the St. John's victory over Georgetown by 7 today, Dolph, was rather impressive, I should think.
Yeah, I figured that Georgetown is going to win. I feel St. John's was ready to lose because they had won so many in a row. You know, they felt they were due. And,
to go at center court, and of course, Tony Bruin, who gives away 5, 6, and 7 inches of center jump, is in there against big Brad Doherty, who is on the side right behind him, and the jump in center is Sam Perkins. Up in the tap was equal, and the Orange have it. Sanford quickly to Routens on a beautiful pass off to Andre. Up and in, and look at that start. Hawkins with a great fast pass, fast break game, and the Orange press. All right, that's Braddock bringing the ball down court quickly. Gets it over to this young Michael Jordan, who is so sensational. Back out to Braddock, the only senior in the blue trim on the white suits, of course, for these Carolina Tar Heels. They're playing about 80 miles away from home. Here's the drive, a little soft one-hander's in. Michael Jordan gets it even at 2 apiece. And they're at a kind of a half-court press at the very most. That's Bruins over there. Now Routen's outside, fakes the long one, steps in, fades underneath, a gorgeous pass. And the basket is in the hole for Eric Sanford.
Jim, Syracuse is out into a press. They've got a big team from North Carolina, a little slower than Syracuse. That's why they're in that press.
All right, they're coming back out now, a little bit open up, and Braddock, who's pretty much the playmaker on this, what's called the big lineup for the North Carolinas. Dean Smith starts 2 different kinds of sets of clubs, but he wanted the big guys in there tonight. This, of course, the great Sam Perkins out of Latham near Albany. Remember all the talks about recruiting on this fella.
Syracuse in that 2-3 zone, Jimmy. They're going to pack in because right now North Carolina's got the tremendously tall team at 6'8", 6'11", 6'9", and so they want to make sure that they don't get in foul trouble underneath.
Well, that's it underneath the Perkins, and he misses. Short rebound. Hawkins got good inside position. And the Orange run again. Look at Waldron, right up the middle, fast. Stop, pumps, a left-hander. Got it. And the Syracuse fans are here, not in a large number, but here nevertheless enjoying that one. Syracuse now by 4. In case we had mentioned it or had not mentioned it, there is a 30-second clock in AAC rules and a 19 stripe for the three-point play, but neither one is in effect tonight. No 30-19 tonight. No shot clock and no 19-foot three-point play. The feed-in was Jordan to Braddock to Jordan, and over here, this is Big Perkins. A lot of basketball players. Syracuse will quick 4-point lead on speed. Sanford out there, still zoning, but a little tighter out.
Jim, Syracuse is going to try and cut off the passing lanes to both Jordan and to Perkins.
There's Jordan's shot. He got it again. This fella is averaging almost 19 points a game. He's only a sophomore, and last year was AAC All-Freshman Rookie of the Year and also made the tournament All-Team.
Okay, Jim, right
Double
now...
trap. There it is. Underneath, off Sanford. And Routen threw one of those sensational passes again, but it didn't work this time.
Jim, it was a good pass. Eric just took his eye off the ball at the last minute.
All right, we got Jordan, who's a lot of ball player. Back out to Braddock. Not the way, but recovered. Sanford, good hands there.
Syracuse won't get into any trouble at all, Jim, if they can keep the ball on the outside. But when they get it inside like that, they're in trouble.
Well, they did get it in, and Hawkins went for the first fake and still had enough left to put the defense on and get it at least off the layup. There it is right there with enough left to keep Perkins from shooting, but he'll be up the free throw line, of course, with 2.
I see Hawkins has got his leg wrapped. I think he has a slight pull. It shouldn't bother him. He's been playing great basketball, and hopefully he'll be okay.
I called that wrong, Golf. It's not a shooting foul after the shot went away. All right, so it's just possession. First foul against the Orange, in fact, in the game. Again, a free ball on the floor, and Hawkins comes up with it. So on the turnover, down court, interception. Braddock, back quickly back up to Jordan. He head fakes Waldron, didn't get through him. Back out to Braddock, back to Waldron. To Jordan, who's all the way on a drive and misses. And again, the miss by the big fella in the middle, Brad Doherty, number 42, and guilty of a foul on the play. So he came on over top, Dolph.
Brad Doherty does get into early foul trouble in many of their games. He's got 3 in the first half, and he really isn't effective after that.
Well, of course, he's 6'11" freshman.
He's only averaging about 2 points a game.
Yeah, not scoring a great deal. A beautiful block, and they've called the foul. They want the goaltending. Sanford wants it. Are they going to give it to him?
Definitely a pin. It should be a goaltend.
They have not given it. It's a foul charged to Matt Doherty, his first, and Sanford will shoot 2.
You know, Jim, goaltending is if you pin that ball against the board, and I certainly felt that ball was pinned.
All right, here's Erich out of Michigan, and in the first free throw of the game. So it's 7-4, Syracuse by 3, and we're in the early going. We've burned out a little more than 3 minutes of play.
Jim, right after this foul shot, if he makes it, Syracuse will go into a zone press, so he missed it, and he went the other way.
All right, so 1 for 2, Orange by 3, Tar Heels in possession. Long outsider Braddock. No good, high rebound, whistle.
Jim, you know, the refs are getting into this game early. All 3 referees, by the way, are from the East, from the ECAC. This was a deal that was set up. Next year, when North Carolina comes north, all 3 referees will be ACC.
All right, we're getting to see this again, and the foul was charged to Bruin pushing off. So now the possession goes to Carolina. Fans didn't like how much he got away with there. The alley-oop doesn't work. The ball comes back to the big guy, and there's Perkins again. And Hawkins on top is called for the foul. Andre's second.
That's a crucial foul.
Now we have Dean Smith squawking already and wants Pavia.
Okay, Jim, I expected this. I expected Dean Smith to really get on the rest because they're all from the East. He wants to make sure that they know he's there. I think he'll be trying to get a technical foul early as a little bit of intimidation.
Well, of course, he's let the fans know he's in the ball game already. Now we'll be back down court to the other end as it'll be to the free throw line, the senior guard, Jim Braddock. So now we go to a situation where Perkins is at the line shooting 2 with the score 7-4 Syracuse, and he's got 2 coming. That's 2 fouls on Andre Hawkins. So we go up with that left-handed free throw, and it's in the full. So that's the first free throw for the White Clads with the light blue trim, the Carolina blue. 7-5. Syracuse now by 2. And a second free throw coming from Sam Perkins. It's up and in. He makes them both. And Syracuse lead is cut to 1. Of course, the biggest was only 4. Pass. The ball stays free, he says, and then has lost it again. This is getting really strong. Waldron had that ball on a jump shot blocked from behind. All right, here's Carolina trying to get the first lead of the ball game for themselves. They're into the big ball of Doherty, up and in. That's Brad Doherty, D-A-U-G-H, big D and little D. All right, Syracuse trailing and a stolen ball, and here goes Jordan, nice and easy with a stop. So.
Ordinarily, that would be a foul on a steal against Roughton, and Jimmy is really incensed at this point.
Yes, he's got something to talk about. All right, so we have timeout on the court. Syracuse trailing 10-7. We'll be right back.
Introducing Christian Schmidt Golden Classic.
There it is. That's him. Let's go. Follow that beer truck.
Classic is a premium beer, so smooth and mellow, it's sure to be in big demand. Problem is, a beer this good takes a long time to make. And for now, there's just not enough to go around. But we're working on it. In the meantime, you'll just have to find it any way you can. Christian Schmidt Golden Classic, the best you can get, if you can get it.
Come into the world of business at Jacobs Office Equipment, 2004 Teal Avenue in Syracuse, and enter a world of fine office furniture. Jacobs Office Equipment is filing cabinets, including fire-resistant files. Jacobs is chairs, desk, swivel, folding, and conference. And Jacobs Office Equipment leads the field in modular and CRT furniture. Desks, files, chairs, shelving, and a full-time interior designer. If it's for business, it should be from Jacobs Office Equipment. We mean business.
We're ready to resume action as we see that slam dunk again by Jordan after the steal, and we're having a little bit of a discussion on whether it was a good clean steal or not. But the facts of the matter are that we're just over 4 minutes into the ball game, and Carolina, with a couple turnovers, has gone now to a 10-7 lead, with 6 points already from Michael Jordan, their high-scoring sophomore from Wilmington, North Carolina. All right, let's pick up our teams coming out, and no substitutions for the Orange, and likewise the same thing to be said for North Carolina. So we have still both starting lineups in the ball game. It'll be Syracuse possession, trailing by 3, and the ball comes bounced in over here. Roughton's on to Sefford, taking it across the 10-second line. Down the left side. Half court, comes back out. Now they'll start wheeling.
Carolina's in a strict man-to-man defense right now. They play very tough defense. Actually, they've been winning most of their games on defense.
On that lost ball, Bruin is charged with his second foul.
Syracuse got to settle down, Jim. They're playing in hostile territory. This is one of the loudest crowds I've ever heard. Syracuse somehow has got to get this crowd out of the game. I certainly don't know how they're going to do it. And Dean Smith, the master that he is, has gotten to the refs, and frankly, hopefully, Syracuse can mount a little charge very soon.
All right, white ball. This is Braddock. Over here to Matt Doherty, and then back out to Braddock.
Syracuse gone into the man-to-man because they were ineffective in guarding against the high pass to the big men inside.
Hawkins working hard against Perkins. And there's Jordan again with a beautiful touch.
Jordan is really tough inside. You can't play a guy inside behind him. You've got to front him or get three-quarters in front and deny him the ball, or else you're really in trouble.
All right, 12-7, North Carolina. Waldron looking for somebody. Doherty all over him. Comes out. Here's Hawkins way out to help out a little bit. It is a tight defense. Red Bruin trying to play one-on-one. Drives in under. Pops one up from underneath, missing. Rebound on the inside with Perkins. Fast break Carolina. And underneath, it's Doherty up and in. That was Matt, number 44. The biggest lead of the game by quite a bit. 7 points now. Carolina has got the Orange cold and furthermore has pounded them on a defense. A beautiful pass underneath the Sandifer by way of, that's like a hockey assist. That should have been down, intercepted, but out of bounds. Couldn't control.
That was pure give-and-go basketball. Routins to Sandifer inside. That's the kind of stuff that Syracuse will be able to pull if they get the ball to Leo inside.
All right, we've got now a feed-in on that out-of-bounds play that will belong to North Carolina. 14-9. Syracuse trailing by 5 points, and for the first, here comes Brad Doherty back in. And we're going to have now a little switch in the offensive structure with Kurt Hunter coming in. Curtis Hunter in the ball game, and Perkins takes a break. Also into the ball game is Steve Hale, number 25. So Peterson feeds over here to Doherty, and back out they come to the number 25, Steve Hale. A long cross-court pass. Peterson back. They're going to take the long one from outside, and it's no good. And the rebound tapped up and around in. And it's going to go. That basket is Curtis Hunter.
Jim, that was a good break for North Carolina. The ball just bounced right back into his hands.
All right, Syracuse almost losing the ball, and Bruin gets it back out to Waldron. Now to Routins, and a popper off the rim. No good. Tap back comes back. Beautiful tap back. That's Addison now into the ball game for the Orange, and a little soft one-handers around and up, and no good again. And again recovering is Sean Cairns into the ball game, but a foul is being called against the Orange. So it'll be possession loss again. So some more coming on. Here's Perkins back in, and the first break now to Brad Doherty, the big center. He's out. So that now we have Steve Hale, Curtis Hunter, number 43, and of course they're keeping that Jordan in there. And we're going to later on have another into the ball game. They're going to put him in now. John Brownlee in. So right away, Dean Smith is going deep to his bench and giving those starters a rest to build up now a 7-point lead. And furthermore, have the ball. Bringing it up is Steve Hale. Over near side, the new boy in the game, number 32, Brownlee with the ball. Back out. Here's Jordan trying to drive. Continuing on. Being played by Addison now, who's going to try and slow him down. And Addison a little tighter, switches on the pick over. Almost intercepted on Peterson. The ball is out of bounds, but it's off Waldron.
Addison's a good substitution at this point. He's a cool cucumber for a freshman. He's going to give him some bench strength, and also he plays real good defense, and he should give Jordan a lot of trouble.
Russ Peterson feeding in to Big Perkins. Syracuse down by 7 after a quick early start, then got tight defense on him. Here's a quick fast one back out to Perkins. Guarded now by Sean Cairns. Peterson Hale can shoot from outside. He's into Perkins, double teamed as Waldron gets over on this zone. Now a drive and a pop shot and in and out and up again now. Sean Cairns gets it. One of the few times recently that North Carolina hasn't done something coming down court. Waldron on outside one-hander. No good rebound comes to Cairns, and we've got a whistle. It looks like finally something's going to happen right Orange way here with the whistle. Boy, you're certainly dead right, Dolph, the way Smith got those officials turned around in a hurry.
That's a foul on Hale. He was reaching in on...
Steve Hale, number 25, stopped the foul. So it's only a possession play, but Syracuse does have it. Sandifer underneath Cairns on the drive. It comes to Addison, up and in. Addison in and scores. Syracuse cuts the Carolina fast break to a 5-point lead. The ball's kicked around and out of bounds, and is to be awarded to North Carolina.
Sean Cairns made a great pass inside, and this is what Syracuse got to do. Keep the ball in the middle of the court. North Carolina will try to force him to the sidelines, but Syracuse keeps it in the middle. They'll be able to do some damage.
This is Perkins, of course, out of Latham, New York, right near Albany. Ball tapped out of bounds and still going to be awarded, although Gene Waldron thought it was off the other fella later, but not true. Carolina's ball. And this is Steve Hale to feed in. Into the ball game returns the big fella in the center, the freshman, 6'11", number 42, Brad Daugherty. He's been averaging almost 8 points a game and 50 rebounds total on the season.
North Carolina's got a tremendous team in size in there. Even their backcourt, the Hale's about 6'3".
Attempting to anticipate, Routens couldn't quite handle it. That cuts Jordan travel. Now let's watch that and again see what kind of a step we get. There's a little slide.
Picked up his pivot foot, and that caused it.
All right, down court, it's Routens shooting, missing, snaps up again, no good, rebound up again, no, and again, no, hits the bottom of the rim, we got a whistle. A lot of offensive opportunities, Dolph. They weren't clean, easy shots, though. It was just jumping up and down stuff.
We got foul on Perkins, went over the back.
That's only his first.
Is that his first? Perkins doesn't foul out many ball games. He's got good, quick hands and seems to stay out of foul trouble.
Very smooth athlete. All right, Eric Sandifer, his second time up to the line tonight. That one's in the bucket. And now back into the ball game is Matt Daugherty, that junior, 6'8". Out goes Jordan for his first break. And in is Curtis Hunter back again.
It's interesting, Jim, that North Carolina is really using their bench very early in the game.
Well, they got that quick 7-pointer, Adolph, and I thought he wanted to test, see how the rest would go. This one off the rim, no good. 1 for 2 again for Eric Sandifer, who has 6 points, and the Orange trail by 4. Carolina ball. Hale underneath the big Daugherty. It's in. Can't let him get that position, Dolph.
No, when Syracuse goes into the zone, they seem to let that seam of the zone wide open, and there's 3 or 4 that have gone inside, and that's trouble.
Addison from the corner. No. Rebound North Carolina. Looking for a fast break. Perkins gives up the middle, and now they've got Daugherty. Bounce pass. Comes finally knocked away. Fast break for the Orange.
Great steal.
Waldron is going to go all the way. Shoots. Scores! And it'll count. A 3-point effort of possibility. Second basket for Gene Waldron. The length of the court and in.
Well, Pete hasn't given the signal yet.
Let's watch this again. This is going to be a great, that's the finish
Hale
of it.
just stepped right in, and he got hopefully the 3-point play. I haven't seen the signal.
Again, Smith is gesticulating to the officials, and there we see him doing it. All right, it's 18-14. We're approaching halfway in the first half, and Waldron with a 3-point chance.
What's interesting, Jim, is that Syracuse is attacking. This is what a great club has got to do. North Carolina's got a great reputation, great tradition, #1 team.
All right, so there we are with a timeout on the court and the score. North Carolina 18, Syracuse 15.
Would you like like your paycheck or government check to go to the bank by itself? Would you like it deposited automatically into your checking or savings account? Then come to Merchants and ask for direct deposit. We can deposit your paycheck, Social Security, or government check directly into your account. No more worry about checks being late, lost, or stolen. And all the checks you write are free. Send your checks to the bank the easy way with direct deposit. And you'll say, Merchants is my bank. They do things my way.
Introducing Christian Schmidt Golden Classic, a premium beer so smooth and mellow, it's sure to be in big demand.
You got some classic for us? Oh, yeah, sure. How much? Well, I can only get you 2 cases. 10. Did I say 2? No, 10 cases.
Problem is, a beer this good takes a long time to make, and for now there's just not enough to go around. But we're working on it.
Okay, I'll see you guys next week. Tomorrow. Did I say next week?
Christian Schmidt Golden Classic, the best you can get, if you can get it.
Back in the Charlotte Coliseum, we're looking at that last drive by Gene Waldron, who went the length of the court after the steal, and that got the Orange back to within 3 as he subsequently completed the 3-point play.
Well, Jim, considering everything, I think Syracuse has done fantastic up till now.
All right, we're looking pretty good, Dolph, and coming on court now with Routens, Santafer, Waldron, Cairns, and Bruin back into the ballgame. All right, the ball is going to be Carolina's possession off their defensive end line, of course, and now the Orange come out pressing. All right, they found Hunter to break the press. He traveled with that ball a little bit, I thought, but they allowed him a little fumble there. Hale out to Perkins, to a long one by Doherty, and no good. Rebound is off Bruins, and it's going to be out of bounds. That was Perkins shooting.
Okay, I think Syracuse might be better off to go into them man-to-man. It leaves everybody covered. I'm interested to see what's going to happen now.
See how the height on that Doherty, if it comes to Perkins instead.
No, they're in the zone. They just got to cover up that seam inside.
Perkins has taken Cairns into the pivot tight.
The key passer for
there goes
North Carolina
a 17-footer good.
Is Doherty. Doherty really is the brains of this club right now.
Well, the basket was Steve Hales, nevertheless, and now the Tar Heels are back to 5. Waldron down court is Sean Cairns. Bounce pass over Routens. Routens with a soft one-hander from about 10 feet off the rim. They took it, but they're going to allow it. And the ball is on the ground, and now they're calling a foul on Cairns, it looks like.
That's number 2 on Sean. He's aggressive. He's tough. You got to battle everything that goes on the floor, and of course the ref saw it as a reach-in type of a foul.
That's the limit now for the Orange. Anything after this, and we've got better than a half to play. 10 minutes, 34 to go, and it's Carolina 20, Syracuse 15. Steve Hale bringing the ball a bit to the near side.
This Hale boy, by the way, Jim, comes from Oklahoma. His father is a coach in that state.
All right, good D by the Orange, stopping some of those little close shots. On the far side, he was open for the moment. They come back to Perkins. He's in his own range now.
They've got to keep the ball on the outside.
On a drive. Travel, I believe. No, I'm going to have it wrong. Foul this time on Santafer. Didn't like it too much. Let's take a peek, nevertheless. Santafer now drawing his first foul. Well, that's that little chippy from the side there, Dolph, I guess, from the left.
Yeah, Bill Belgrade called it. He's from New York, and maybe around that section they call a little bit close.
This will be Hale at the free throw line with 1-1. And coming into the ball game for the first time is Warren Martin. You think they're going to get smaller, but they're not. This fellow's 6'11", out of Axton, Virginia, sophomore, 6'11". And now, is he going back or not? No, Dean Smith just cautioning him. All right, this is Hale now, who appears to have a good soft touch, although averaging only a couple of points a game, and misses. The rebound up in the air is Santafer. Syracuse trailing by 5. The ball to Waldron. Hawkins back into the ball game, giving Routens his first break. Bounce pass to Hawkins. Couldn't get through. And looks for somebody. It's back out to Waldron. Now Cairns. Back to Waldron. Long one-hander. No good. Rebound is the big fella who just came in. 6'11", Warren Martin. So far, the Carolina defense has been very successful in getting the Orange outside. The baskets have really worked off one fast break and off getting those in-tight passes. But, of course, there's the shot by Hunter off the rim, and what a beautiful rebound by Sandifer. He went up. Invisible ladder. Waldron taking another outsider. Good this time off the backboard. Gene Waldron now with 7 points. And with this tight Carolina defense, they throw it away. That helps.
Jim, basically Syracuse could make a move right now because a lot of Carolina's second stringers are in the ball game. Perkins is out of the ball game.
Yes, they have only Doherty and Braddock in from the starting lineup. Oh, now here's Michael Jordan is back in as well now. All right, and Roughton's back in for Syracuse.
I'd like to see Leo get on track. I don't think he's got a bucket yet, and I'd love to see the ball go inside to Hawkins. I think he can get some of their big men in trouble.
That's Waldron getting his first break out of the game right now. The ball's thrown away, but Cairns looks like he does recover just in time. Sandifer back to Roughton's, and a shot by Leo is up, and the tap is no good, and now I think we have a whistle, yes.
That's going to be 3 on Sean, but he's battling all the way. Here he comes. He just comes over the back, and they'll that's the foul they'll call all the time. Pete Tavia called that. Pete from Rochester.
All 3 of the officials, in case somebody might have just joined us, are all ECAC officials. Next year will be the reverse when Carolina's up at Syracuse.
Interestingly, Jimmy Boeheim is letting Sean stay in the game with 3 fouls.
Doherty on the 1-and-1 makes the front half, so of course he's got no one coming, and the lead goes back to 4. And 2 for 2. A nice touch there by the 6'11" freshman.
Yeah, Doherty is a good-looking freshman.
All right, 22-17 to Carolina Tar Heels out front. Roughton's and Sandifer shooting. Short. Rebound Carolina. A fast down-court pass to Buzz Peterson. Back out on a long one-hander. Braddock off the rim and no good. And Bruin trying to start a fast break. Stays up the middle, gives to Cairns. A dribble, a 10-footer. Good. Sean Cairns, a big bucket for the Orange. His first point. And it's 22-19. Look at that center dribbling ball. Even the 6'11", the third one they brought in the ball game. That was Warren Martin dribbling. Fans like that ball. Braddock to Peterson over here. Back to Braddock. The only senior on the club. Number 24. James Braddock, by the way. No relation. 22-19. Carolina by 3. Peterson takes his outsider. It's off the rim and no good. The rebound beautifully done by Jordan. What a great rebound that was. And we got a whistle. It looks like Hawkins. Going to be charged to Andre. That hurts. Let's take another look.
Here you're going to see a long rebound off.
All right. You got to go along with that one, I guess. Okay. Andre came down on Jordan, who will shoot a couple. The whistles are certainly going hometown so far. Maybe you can have to say that some of them have been drawn by alert and fine athletic ability, but nevertheless. The foul situation is now 9-5. Jordan at the free throw line. Their leading scorer already with 8 points in the game, and he's got a 1-and-1. 3-point lead, Carolina. 7:46 to go in the half. It's off the rim and no good tap. He gets it, though.
Syracuse getting some bad breaks on long rebounds. Their zone is working well. The other team's missing, but the ball comes right back to him.
All right, Braddock over to little D here, Doherty. Big D is in the pivot. There's outside by Jordan. He's got it again. He can shoot the ball.
They can't give a good club like North Carolina 3 chances and not expect something to happen. There was 3 chances that Syracuse could have had the ball back.
Cairns outside to Waldron in the corner to Leo Roughton's, and he fakes the shot and then doesn't take it. A bounce pass underneath the red Bruin. He's there for a backhander, and he got it. Over the shoulder and around the corner and every other thing. Tony's first points for Red Bruin. Carolina by 3. Good first half. You can't ask for better basketball. All right, this is little D.
Syracuse zone is working well. They're making him shoot from out.
There's a great drive and an attempt at a shot, but a whistle in underneath is charged to Red Bruin. I got him for 3. Well, we take a look, and he came down. Of course, what Jordan did there was wonderful body control, to maneuver in under the basket and still have a legitimate shot away so that Bruin came down on him. And that's the way it's going to be.
Jim, when you're looking at Jordan, you're looking at one of the great athletes, or one of the true All-Americans. You know, his shot won the national championship for North Carolina last year against Georgetown in that great game in New Orleans. And he's definitely going to be on everybody's All-American list.
Well, this time he's back up to the line, already with 10 points in the game, and the free throw is off the rim and out. He has two coming, of course, this time. This is not a one-on-one. 24-21, Carolina with 6:49 to go, first half. We're in the Coliseum, packed capacity, almost 12,000, and that one's in the basket, and we're going to have another substitution. And also, I believe we're going to have some timeout. So it's number 22, Bus Peterson, will come in. We have timeout on the floor, and the score is Carolina 25, Syracuse 21.
Bet you never thought of this as a shopping bag. Well, McDonald's goes to Mart, too. To Idaho for firm, meaty russets. And we pick only lean, 100% pure beef. The dairy gives us fresh milk and golden American cheese. McDonald's lettuce is picked crisp and fresh. Our fruit, juicy and ripe. All the makings for a good meal.
Big Mac sandwich, fries, and apple pie.
We've got quality in the bag.
Introducing Christian Schmidt Golden Classic.
There is, that's him. Let's go. Follow that beer truck.
Classic is a premium beer, so smooth and mellow, it's sure to be in big demand. Problem is, a beer this good takes a long time to make. And for now, there's just not enough to go around. But we're working on it. In the meantime, you'll just have to find it any way you can. Christian Schmidt Golden Classic, the best you can get, if you can get it.
All right, the big finish of a fine Carolina cheer with a lot of fine acrobatics. And we're back here at the Charlotte Coliseum with Jim McKechnie with Dolph Shays. We got ourselves a basketball game. 25-21, Carolina in front. Superb athletic activity going on here. These are just superb ball players, Dolph.
And there's two telling statistics that are in Carolina's favor. Number one is they're shooting many more foul shots than Syracuse. And number two, they're hitting the boards, they're getting more rebounds than Syracuse. Any team that can dominate those two statistics will win most of the time.
All right, it's going to be Syracuse ball, trailing by 4. And Gene Waldron back into the ball game, along with Sandifer. Cairns, he's double-teamed back here, trying to get across that 10 sign. I think get across now to Routens.
Syracuse got to keep the ball in the middle.
Sean Cairns, a 5-footer. He's got it. That's as close as the Orange have been for a period of time now. 2-point deficit.
Well, Leo is really passing well. I think he's getting a little more confident.
Now, Smith has all his starters in the game except Michael Jordan. This is Braddock, Big Doherty. Little D and Big D. And here's Big D over here. 42's got the ball. Peterson. Now Braddock again, their senior. And they're trying to whip this zone by... They got a lot of cross-court passes. Those were usually considered a little bit dangerous.
I think Syracuse is going to allow the outside shot. I think it'd be wise to do that. North Carolina might make a few, but it's the inside game that'll hurt Syracuse.
There goes the outsider. In and out. Rebound nicely. Sean Cairns on a foul on Big D. Brad Doherty, his second. All right, but we're still not there.
Well, it's interesting. It's interesting that that seam in the zone that was so loose earlier has been closed up. Good.
All right, coming into the ball game, Dolph, is Warren Martin, number 54, one of their other 6'11" big men. And they sit down Brad Doherty. All right, they drop right back into about a 1-3-1 all the way over to Leo. Back out to Gene Waldron. Sandifer with the ball.
I think Syracuse can be very patient now. They're in the ball game. No bad shot. Just work it inside.
There's one from the corner. It's in and out. What a rim job that Cairns ran into. Now the big fella's back in again. Michael Jordan, they don't leave him out very long. And he takes a one from the perimeter. No good. Routens fast breaking down the side. Sean Cairns underneath Waldron. Left hands it up and missed it. But the rebound, Syracuse off to Cairns and hold it, no basket. But there is a foul in underneath on to Addison, I believe.
Mike Jordan just reached in here and grabbed Addison's arm.
That's his first, and we go to the free throw line for the first time, 1-on-1. 5 minutes 16 to go. Syracuse trailing to 2.
Jim, Syracuse is doing a job right now. They're forcing the outside shot.
There's a good free throw that gets the second half of the 1-on-1 for Raphael Addison, and his third point there.
And if you notice, Jim, the crowd is not as noisy as they used to be.
Well, there's another reason for it right there. 2 for 2, and an even-up ball game. We're tied up at 25. Ball's kicking around. They're going to call a foul on Addison, I believe. So there's early foul trouble as far as the total roster is concerned, but the big factors are Hawkins and Bruin. So you might be looking at the club that's going to have to go a long ways out there for the Orange right now.
Jimmy, with Addison in the game, you've got a real fine athlete. I don't think that he's hurting anybody. And right now, Syracuse is in a good position. They just got to be very, very methodical bringing the ball down. I'd like to see him work the ball inside. There's no hurry.
All right, Braddock successful, of course, for his first point of the game on the front of that 1-and-1. So he'll try to get the Tar Heels a 2-point lead. We have 5:12 to go in the first half. Up it goes. He's got a good shooter. Doesn't do much shooting outside too much, but he's the point guard. He's the playmaker.
It's interesting to note, Jim, that Carolina has forgotten about their press. They've just packed into a zone, and all Syracuse has to do is work the ball. No quick shot.
Sanford to Routon, Mr. Walden back out to Sanford. Back over to Leo. In the corner to Cairns, whose shot's way long. Wow, that was an air ball. Over everything. Braddock hurries up the court. Bounce in tight to the big pivot, but no. Back out to Jordan, and there's the corner shot. In and out. Rebound is off the white and out as Warren Martin. They got 3 guys at 6'11". In fact, one's a 6'11 and a half.
The shot that Braddock just took, Jim, is a very low percentage shot, and if Syracuse can keep
all right, we'll take a look at it, Dolph.
Take that kind of shot, they're in good shape.
All right, into the ball game for Syracuse, making his first appearance is Wendell Alexis, number 45. And, yeah, they got Hawkins back in, too. So Addison is sitting down, as is Sean Cairns. Addison back out over Leo. Leo steps once and then pumps up a shot at the last minute. Was kind of forced, and the ball is out of bounds. Going to be awarded to North Carolina. Tar Heels with 4:19 to go in the first half, leading 27-25. And we're taking a look at that last bit of scrambling. And Routens was hoping that ball went off the other fellow.
They're playing Leo very tough, and he really hasn't taken a good, substantial, balanced shot yet.
Well, we see that Hale's back in the ball game after that long shot by Braddock. Smith took him out. In tight. A whistle call. Looks like a foul on Routens. That was a little bit thin. Let's get a little bit concerned about the whistles are coming along a little fast. He was on that ball, it looked like to be, but nevertheless, Routens called for his second foul. And to the free throw line comes number 54, Warren Martin, sophomore of Axton, Virginia. He's on a 1-and-1. And it's in and out. No good to rebound Syracuse. Alexis feeds off to Gene Waldron. Syracuse needs a bucket to get back even. Still a very early 4-point lead, and then Carolina went to as much as 7. Leo working this side now. Back out to Alexis. From the corner, Waldron off the rim. No good rebound as Routens tries to cut for a shot and puts it up in. And got us even. Leo Routens with his first bucket.
Maybe we can get Leo going now.
Score tied at 27. 3.5 to go in the first half. Way over to Little D, Doherty. He drives on in, passes a beautiful setup pass, but the ball is not in the hook yet. Now he tries again, and we got a whistle. Looks like it's on Andre. Boy, he doesn't care for it. That's 4 on Hawkins. Let's take a look.
Well, here we have a situation where the big guy is so big and he takes up so much space. Andre just put his arms up, and they felt that there was some contact.
Let's see, yes.
It's Andre's third foul.
Jim Boeheim is taking him out and bringing in Cairns again. So the Orange go with Waldron, Santafer, Routens, Alexis, and Sean Cairns. Now, once again to the line is Warren Martin.
Martin doesn't appear to be a very good foul shooter. He cocks the ball over to one side and kind of shot puts it up there.
Got that one.
He made it.
So that makes it a second half now of the 1-1. And a 1-point lead for the Tar Heels. 3:22 to go, first half. Big fellow's up again and got that one cleanly. 2-point lead, more substitution. Back into the ball game is Big D, Brad Doherty. And with that one, we're going to have a bit of a timeout here. So we have 3:22 to go in the first half. Carolina 29, Syracuse 27.
Introducing Christian Schmidt Golden Classic.
I'd like a classic. No, I'm sorry. We're fresh out.
Charlotte Coliseum. 3 minutes, 22 to go in the first half. Jim McKechnie with Dolph Shays, and it's 29-27 Carolina. The Syracuse Orange, as you remember, had an early 4-point lead. That dwindled. Carolina went to as much as a 7-point lead. At the moment, Carolina's in front 29-27, 2-point edge, and it'll be Syracuse ball. The Orange on court with Santafer, Cairns, Alexis, Waldron, and Roughton.
An interesting point, Jim, is in this half is the fact that Dean Smith is substituting so freely. Obviously, his intent is to wear Syracuse down. I don't think he'll do it.
Well, the other thing is they've gotten a few foul calls. A couple of the Orange in trouble now. Roughton's far quarter court. Into the corner. Way back out here to Santafer. Santafer just at the free throw line, but out of the lane. Take a repass. Now all the way back over to Leo. Underneath, Santafer got there. Beautiful pass again by Roughton, and he found the secret place to even up this ball game. This is big, little D, Doherty. He's only 6'8". Big D is 6'11". He's in the pivot with Cairns trying to hold him out.
Doherty right now is the brains of this outfit. He's going to be able to...
Here's Hale with a little soft pass underneath, and that fellow looks like he's walking. He got the basket. That's Big D, Brad Doherty. He now has 8 points. Carolina back to a 2-point lead. Waldron into the forecourt, 2:27 to go. First half. Waldron gets it over here to Santafer. To Cairns, back out. Long one by Leo. Woo! I'll take it.
That's the first shot Leo has taken, or the second one where he was squared up facing the basket. He's got 2 in a row now.
This is little D, Doherty, 44. Underneath to Perkins, who hadn't had the ball much lately. But now the number 25, Steve Hale, comes back out again. Almost lost the ball, but no. All right, they keep driving. Here's Doherty on a drive through his own pick, and underneath, blocked off the board. They're going to call a foul. I believe. Well, let's see if we can get a hand on that. That might have been... We'll take a look and see if we can really spot it for sure here, because I didn't.
I think Dean Smith has made an adjustment in his tactics for the past 10 minutes or so. They were shooting outside, and then I think he instructed Doherty and Hale to drive inside, penetrate, and hit the big guys.
All right, at any rate, the Waldron is the foul here, his first, and the free throw is up and in by Big D. Brad Doherty, who's getting, he's above his scoring average already in the ball game. He's got 9. Going for 10, and he got it. And once again, with a lot of free throws happening, Carolina goes back to a 2-point lead. The Tar Heels 33, the Orange 31. Now a little more of a press with Jordan back in the ball game and his great speed. The sophomore, number 23. Waldron having trouble, but gets it down court. The overpass still comes to Santafer. Underneath, the ball was deflected. Carolina with a steal on the turnover, and Waldron trying to bother, couldn't get the ball. Jordan has it. This is Perkins. Back out Jordan. Steve Hale. Back out again. Doherty's getting in close enough. Taking him back out. Here's the guy that was 1-on-1 on you.
Doherty and Hale are looking to penetrate and then hit the big guy underneath.
All right, they're going to try it again with 1:12 to go in a 2-point lead. Orange have not led since the 3rd minute. Boy, they're zoning that Jordan with Alexis and Santafer mostly, if he works this side. Perkins way over. There's a long pass in underneath, deflected, and Syracuse has the ball stolen away. Great defensive play. You got to give credit to Steve Hale. All right, he's got the ball back over here. Doherty's going to drive the middle, pumps it up. Short. Rebound. This time Roughton is not going to let go. 40 seconds. Down court. Waldron underneath. A 10-foot jumper. Good to tie it up again by Sean Cairns. He has 6 points.
That was
30 seconds to go.
Jim,
Score time.
picture-perfect fast break. 3 passes, real good shots from the side.
Here's Perkins. The ball knocked out of his hands. A foul is called on Roughton. His 3rd. So at 25 seconds to go, and the score tied at 33 each. That's redundant, I suppose, but nevertheless, that's the fact. Hold the phone. Take it away from Routens. Good. I had the wrong man. It's on Santafer. So it'll be his second. And Ray Perkins, or rather Sam Perkins, goes to the free throw line. He's been averaging over 15 points. He has 2 free throws so far in this ball game. 25 seconds to go in the half.
Sam's one of the 2 Eastern players on this club. He's from Albany, New York. And Little D. Doherty, he's from East Meadow, Long Island. It used to be that most of North Carolina's players came from
that was
New York City. But
back in McGuire's case, Dolph.
But now things have changed. They're getting them mostly from the Carolinas, although Hale comes from Oklahoma, which is a surprise.
All right, the big fella gets it again. So, 2-point lead again for the Tar Heels. The Orange have never trailed at the half this year in their 11 games. Never once. And they're trailing by 2 right now, and 18 seconds on the clock. A long down-court pass to Alexis. And takes a dribble, gives to Waldron. 13, 12 seconds, looking for that last second shot. Roughton spinning, no, he's not gonna take it. And somebody better pretty soon. Now Waldron will. And it was goaltending.
Goaltending call.
Goaltending. Waldron's basket.
That call,
Close. Close. All right, now there are 3 seconds. The score is tied at 35. It's all even. And Alexis steals the ball and lets one go from midcourt that hits the back of the rim. I don't believe they would have allowed it under any conditions. So we've got ourselves, the record continues. That's the score at the half. The Orange still not trailing at halftime this year. And it's tied 35-30. Now we're going to take a quick look at some of our stats in that first half. And, Dolph, you'll notice that the free throw situation certainly benefited the people from Carolina. There was no question about that.
Carolina shot 10 more free throws. They got 3 more rebounds. And, of course, that trend has got to stop in a way, although Carolina is going inside more than Syracuse is. I think Syracuse relying a lot on the perimeter shot.
Well, I'll tell you, we'll take just a few of those key numbers. If you'll notice, Dolph, that we got 15 rebounds for Syracuse and 11 for Carolina. We out-field goal them, rather, by 4, 15-11. In rebounds, they out-rebound us by 3. In the meantime, they pick up 17 free throw attempts, made 13 of them, and we got 5 for our 7. But we're ready to start.
A great statistic, too, Jim, is Carolina's only attempted 26 field goal shots. I think Dean Smith is going to ask for them to shoot a little bit more this half.
All right, here's possession to Carolina to start the half. As you may remember, the Orange got the jump to start the game. This is Jordan out here to Little Doherty, big fella, but the little D. Back out again to Braddock, their senior. In tight, shot up short. We're going to have another foul, and it's on Leo Roughton.
That's that problem area again that hurt Syracuse early in the first half.
Now we're going to take a look at Leo trying to...
You can't give anybody that kind of position.
Yeah, he was in there good. Brad Doherty coming to the free throw line. He'll be shooting 2. So right away, the first foul cost free throws, and Carolina hasn't been hurting in the number of free throws they're getting tonight. More than double by quite a bit of what the Orange have had. The score is tied at 35 and remains that way after Big D, Brad Doherty, a freshman from Black Mountain, North Carolina, misses his first.
Jim, up to that time, Doherty was 1,000%. He was 3 for 3 on his field goals and 4 for 4 on his free throws in the first half. He really hurt Syracuse.
Now Braddock is pressing a bit. They're trapping Waldron, and he can't get through, and he does, down to Bruin. Tony takes a 10-foot shot to his block. He taps it back out. It goes out of bounds either way. It's going to be... Now, wait, they award it to Syracuse. Now, wait a minute. We've got 2 officials with a difference of opinion, I believe. But Pavia is overridden by Bill Velgray, and so Routens will feed it in. Syracuse trailing by a point. Again, they trap, jump. There's that lob jump. Over to Routens. He drives. He shoots. He missed it. And the rebound comes back to the corner. Routens holds it again. Jordan guarding. He shoots. He misses. And the rebound. Throw it in underneath. Gets it to Santafer, who goes up and shoots. And scores. Santafer. And Syracuse now has a 1-point lead. First time since about 4 minutes of the ball game, if that late.
Syracuse has come out pressing, and oddly enough, Carolina isn't following through on their fast break attempt.
All right, here's the zone setting up again. Syracuse trying to get those big guys a little out of there. There's a shot from outside, off and no good, but the rebound does come back to Waldron. He's trying to fast break. He's got Santafer and Bruin. He goes to Santafer. The layup is good. It'll count. He was fouled.
Jimmy, if Syracuse can keep Carolina shooting from the outside, get the long rebound and break, they're going to be in awful good shape.
There's the play, and there's the body contact, and Sandifer still, while in the air, clever enough to elude enough of the body contact to make his layup. Erich on a three-point temper, and he makes it. So the Orange, back to their largest lead, 4, as much as they had early in the game. That's odd, the scoring here developing just as it did.
See, with this big lineup in for North Carolina, they don't want to run all the way. They just want to slow it down and get it inside. Syracuse very wisely is pressing because they know Carolina will not take the fast break.
This is Braddock looking for what big guy might be open. It goes to Perkins, fakes it outside one. Braddock another look around, see who he can find open. We're only in the second minute of the second half. Syracuse now by 4. This is Perkins from Latham, New York. Back all the way across now to the amazing Jordan. Goes into Perkins again, double teamed. He drives on Andre and misses. The rebound is again up and short, and the rebound is really bodies all over the place. It's out of bounds. And which way? A foul is called.
Jimmy, right there we saw some excellent refereeing. There was a little bit of bumping. Going on right there. The activity was caused by Jordan. But there we have the foul inside. But
I'm not certain as whose that is, because it might be Waldron. At any rate, we know one thing. Little D. Matt Doherty, number 44, at the free throw line for 2. Up. No good. Syracuse 40, North Carolina 36. We're early in the second half.
The team that North Carolina's got in there now, they're big. They're 6'8", 6'9", 6'11", but they don't have the quickness that Syracuse has got, and I think this is going to work to Syracuse's favor.
Well, they're trying to press at the moment. Now, where they're trapped, here it comes. Doherty along, and Waldron trying to go through the middle, and they steal the ball on him. And all the way, Jordan is fouled by Leo Rowden. Or maybe Waldron. I think they call Waldron.
Well, that was an inadvertent trip on the part of Gene. I'm sure.
Well, we're going to take a look
Gene
at it.
Didn't want.
Now, they trapped him like we've been talking about. And the ball is coming down. Yeah, that was an accidental trip, but nevertheless, it's on Waldron.
Gene's got to make better plays than that. With 2-on-1 on Gene, there was somebody open, a quick pass, and Syracuse would have been in much better shape than trying to drive through 2 bodies.
All right, this is Jordan, who's just got a fine touch, this sophomore. And he's in the air, and it's off to the right, no good.
That's 3 straight misses.
The only trouble is, Dolph, they're getting 2 every time. This isn't 1-on-1 stuff. That would be lovely if those were 1-on-1s. 40-37, Syracuse by 3, by 2 now, as Michael Jordan makes 1 out of 2.
By the way, Jimmy, the girl in the yellow sweater is Jimmy Boeheim's wife, and she looks a little bit concerned at this juncture.
So am I. They break the press with Hawkins. Syracuse by a couple. That's 12 points, by the way, for Jordan in the ball game. Erich Sandifer driving all the way. And Boeheim can't believe that they wasn't called.
Yeah,
they allowed the D.
Big D made an excellent block.
Here's Jordan pumping one up. Short that time. He gets his own rebound block. Dipped up again. Routens gets the ball. Fast break, 3-on-2 if Waldron hurries. And he comes all the way down the lane and shoots. And it's no good. And the rebound is Doherty. 40-38, Syracuse. Braddock going all the way. Passes off to the driving Perkins, whose shot is good. Ties it up. That is Perkins' first field goal. 40-40 out here. We're 3 and a little better minutes into the second half. Waldron feeds over here. The Orange offense is not sharp right now, Dolph.
Well, I think in that
There's
case...
a steal. Perkins going to go all the way. Sandifer trying to pick him up.
Now,
we've had a whistle and a foul way back up here. I didn't hear him call it.
Yeah, there was a whistle. I think Tony Bruin grabbed his arm as soon as Perkins stole the ball.
I'll tell you, it's right in front of us. There's no doubt in my mind it happened.
To tell you the truth, Jim, that was a very heady foul on the part of...
All right, so we've got a timeout on the court, and the score is Syracuse 40, North Carolina 40. from the Charlotte Coliseum, and we're even again, 40-40. What a game. You know, this is the third meeting between these two teams and the first ever in regular season play. Back in 1957, in NCAA playoff time, Carolina won 67-58, and then who will forget that 75 game with Jimmy Lee's finishing shot that put the Orange into the Final Four, beating Carolina 78-76. All right, into the ball game now is Buzz Peterson, and feeds off to Jim Braddock, and they'll take it up. Number 22 is Peterson. So they got the two Dohertys and Perkins in there. It's all even. Braddock faking the jumper from the perimeter, doesn't take it. AAC, they play. There he does it this time. He's got it. Braddock puts Carolina back out in front by 2. And Braddock sets up the trap, but this time they're not coming in with the trap.
That basket doesn't worry me at all, Jim. It's Perkins who worries me down the stretch. He's going to get a little confidence now that he's hit his first field goal.
Addison back in the ball game for the Orange, and Routen's on a drive is fouled. Into the game for Carolina returns Michael Jordan. They don't give him much of a rest. We're going to take another look at that move as Routen's trying to come down the lane. They just
Leo
double
was
teamed.
sandwiched, and number 24 just reached in and picked up the foul.
All right, Waldron takes the feed in. Orange down by 2. Now it's Santafer with the ball, getting it off to Andre Heike, very high. Addison over the near side, Routen. Back out center court to Waldron, flips over to Santafer. Back to Dean. Routen's into the corner here to Addison, back to Routen. They're out around 20 feet away, around the perimeter. Now from the side, it's short. The rebound is Doherty, the big one, Brad. And quickly, Braddock into the forecourt. Fakes off, gives to big Doherty, little Doherty. 4-point lead once again for Carolina at 44-40 with just over 15 minutes to go in the ball game.
I'd love to see Syracuse get a basket now. The crowd is getting into the game again, and a good play by Syracuse now will mean quite a bit.
All right, here's Waldron, having taken a pass from Addison, feeds him as he came all the way around to the far corner. In tight, Hawkins trying to get some position, but now he comes back out high. Back to Santafer.
Remember, Jimmy Hawkins has got 4 fouls on him.
Underneath, Hawkins. Shot is good, and he was fouled. Hawkins getting a big bucket, only his second, and he'll have a shot at a three-point play.
Well, it's interesting that the play is going to come inside, and a little head fake, and Bulldog got hit right on the arm.
All right, here's Andre with the three-point effort. He's in, out, and in. Yes. And so the three-point play cuts the Carolina lead to 1 point. In the game is Steve Hale. Underneath lob pass on an alley-oop, but another one up. And this time he missed again. Again, it's up no. And we've got a whistle and a foul against the Orange. We're going to take another look at some real tough action in tight. Look at that person off the rim, and then again, and that's when he called it. The third chance, had it gone, would not have counted.
This kid, Doherty, has been the star for North Carolina. For a freshman, he's really taken the play away from Sam Perkins, and Sam is a consensus All-American, so you can expect a great deal from Carolina with those two big guys inside.
All right, the 2 free throws makes it a 3-point lead. 46-43, and Syracuse is getting a full press. Routen stays back to help. And lobs up here to Waldron. All right, they broke that press. Cairns will come in shortly. Waldron being tightly guarded by Hale, gets it over to Santafer back out. Now it's a big lead for the Orange, and the man-for-man of Carolina flying all around the place. Routen's trying to spin on Jordan, does, shoots, overshoots, up, and no good off the rim. Tap back, it's going to be Carolina's ball and fast break. And he's got Perkins in the middle, but he shoots and scores. Hale.
Jimmy, I don't agree with this call at all. I think that the Syracuse player had position. But of course, Pete Tavia saw it the other way.
Well, we'll take another look at it. Here comes
Hale
the break.
coming down. And it certainly looked like Santafer was there. Waldron was there.
Well, a foul is charged to Waldron, nevertheless. And the Orange are getting back in foul trouble indeed in the early going of the second half and trailed by 5 points. Hale on a play for a three-pointer.
Jimmy, that call is kind of difficult to call in for any referee, what the charge is and what the block is.
All right, the free throw good. Carolina to a 6-point lead, and we have timeout with Carolina 49, Syracuse 43. All right, we're back to the Coliseum in Charlotte at the 14-minute mark. 49-43 Carolina. I'd like to invite you to join us all at 9 for the Weekend with the Stars, the telethon for cerebral palsy, and it begins 11:30 p.m., just short of midnight, on Saturday, January the 22nd, right here on Channel 9. Of course, that same night, the 22nd, is the St. John's and Syracuse game in the Dome. Will not be televised on the 22nd, and so get your tickets a little ahead of time, though we don't have a big jam up for the St. John's game. It will not be TV'd, that 8 o'clock game on the 22nd. All right, Syracuse now down by 6. Addison to Roughton to Addison. Back to Addison. He pumps one up. It was deflected off the rim, taken down by Perkins. And the Orange now have had a dry spell indeed, not unlike the way the first half developed. An early lead. And now it goes to 8 points, and that's the biggest lead of the ball game.
Jimmy, we're approaching a crucial part of the game right now because I wouldn't put it past Dean Smith at about the 10-minute mark with about a 10-point lead to just go into that four-corner stall.
Sandifer shot, he's foul. And it's on Hale. And just the third foul called in the half on North Carolina. We'll take another look. As he was up, you'll see he's on his arm. That was the technique of hanging in the air a bit, Dolph.
Right, Eric did that, and Hale just hit him on the wrist. But as I was saying before, Syracuse has got to keep it fairly close. I think some of them might be getting a little tired. It wouldn't surprise me if Waldron has seen the effects of his playing every minute of the game. There's Jimmy's wife again, and I don't think she likes what she's been seeing.
Well, the second one's unsuccessful, so it's 51-44, 7-point lead for the White Suits. Underneath, they got position of almost an errant pass. This is little Doherty here, 44, to big Doherty alongside. And intercepted. Routens may try to come all the way. He gives it off instead to Sandifer, and he stops it. A big basket for the Orange on the turnover. 51-46.
Jimmy, that quieted the crowd down.
Well, an era can do that.
All right, big play right now.
Here's Jordan and Hale and Doherty out here with it. In tight to Perkins. Hawkins on him pretty good. Jordan from the side. It's in there. Look at that fellow shoot the ball. He gets some very important baskets, Dolph. When they need something, they seem to go to him. Sandifer driving. And they keep the ball in play, and Boeheim saying he was fouled. Fast break back. And another shot. Up and in. And just like that, the crowd gets back. Basket counts, and he was fouled.
Jimmy, it looks like...
Well, let's take a look.
Hale is a master at going and drawing the...
Well, he was all over Hawkins in my book, Dolph.
Yeah. But you'll never change the referee's decision on that one, and the Hawk is out of the ball game with 5 fouls. So Jimmy is asking for the foul down the other end when Sandifer shot the ball. That's what you call a 6-point spread right there that Syracuse could ill afford to give up at this point in the game.
Well, they're down 9. That's the largest lead so far.
I don't blame Jimmy for being angry because those are 2 3-point calls that's gone against them that could have gone either way. And Hale was the perpetrator of both events.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now here he is up there for his three-pointer.
Well, I got to say this, Jimmy, with Hale and Doherty is 2 freshmen. They're in that North Carolina All-American mold. They got 4 years to go, and they're playing great games tonight.
Now, Boeheim just took the maximum time there before he made his substitution after Hawkins fouled out, and into the game comes Red Bruin, who also is in a bit of foul trouble. He's got 4. All right, Hale on an attempt to give a 10-point lead, and it'll be the first one of the night, and he misses. The rebound, however, is knocked out of bounds, and they're going to award it to Syracuse. No, they're not. I thought Leo was taking the ball in. No, sir, they give it to Carolina. All right, 9-point lead for the Tar Heels. Out here to Jordan. Syracuse still in his zone. Jordan trying to drive through it, has to pass back, does Perkins. Perkins flips it deep. Hale starts it over. That's big Little Doherty over there, 44. Here's George driving on Addison. With D there. Well, this isn't a fourth corner, but they're not exactly looking for other than a perfect situation. 12 minutes and 8 seconds to go in the ball game, and it's 55-46. Carolina by 9.
If Carolina can afford to hold the ball.
Oh, yes, they can look for the good one.
They're 9 points ahead, and time's running out. Syracuse eventually is going to have to come out and play man-to-man.
I think that's about all they're waiting for. Now a shot. A wild good. What a hook that Perkins threw in. A left-handed skier. And there's the biggest lead of the ball game. 11 points for Carolina. They're having themselves a night now and not getting the worst of the breaks by any means. Addison trying to drive. Can't get through. Rouse does. Passes off, deflected and out of bounds. In the meantime, we've got a foul call. I believe it is on number 25, Steve Hale. It's just a possession, however, and they're nowhere near trouble yet. That's number 4. Into the ball game is Jim Braddock and replaces Steve Hale, and the fans like his work.
Jimmy, they're giving Hale a well-deserved standing ovation here. Syracuse has defensed the 2 stars of North Carolina very well, Perkins and Doherty, and all of a sudden Hale and the big Doherty come through, which is a sign of a great team.
Way out route, in and out. Rebound is the white suit, Perkins. Now it's starting to get dangerous now. 11 points down, approaching halftime of the second half. The amazing Michael Jordan. And 13-point lead now.
Jimmy, the crowd is sensing the kill right now. They know that North Carolina can protect leads very well going into 4 corners and stalls and all that.
And, of course, they're zoning in the meantime.
And the next 2 minutes are going to be crucial.
Karen shooting, missing, rebound way up in the air. And the big guys, it's still free, and Ted Bruin's going to have it.
Syracuse is battling
Sandifer
right
from
down
the side,
wire.
in the bucket. That was vital. That one had to be. Sandifer now has 14, 16, 18 points.
Well, Syracuse going into a trapping defense.
59-48, 11-point lead. Almost a jump ball it is. Addison got in there and tied up Little Doherty, who's only 6'8".
All right, they're battling back, Jim.
The possession goes to Syracuse on the jump. The jump ball call, which they don't do anymore, of course. Game rules have changed through the years, Dolph, huh? My goodness. Especially this
Addison's
year.
in the ball game, and maybe he can give him some offensive punch.
Karen.
Big
Good.
basket.
Another important. 8 points for Sean. And it's 59-50, a long way to go.
Syracuse just can't seem to get a call. There was, again, one of those controversial charge or block calls, and the last 4 have gone against Syracuse.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, they're 1-1 now. And it's going to be Braddock. That was the 7th.
Yeah, the old adage is still prevailing, Jim. The team that shoots the fouls and gets the rebounds who usually ends up on top.
This is a 1-1. This fella's pretty good. He got it. Braddock only now 5 points and another free throw coming. And the circles with the little dots in them are all over the place on the Carolina side. The Orange haven't been the line worth even mentioning in the ballgame. 2 for 2. So it's back to the 11-point lead. And Sandifer quickly down the left side. Alley-oop attempt to Bruin. Doesn't work, but it goes out of bounds. I believe that one could be well awarded to Syracuse. And is.
Gene Smith looked like pretty contented there. I guess he feels he's got the game well in hand.
Bruin on a drive, and they don't call this. I can't believe it. They were all over him. Fast break. Doherty takes it back out. They're going to slow it down.
I think you'll find Carolina going into the stall game. They feel Syracuse might be a little tired, and a chasing game isn't what Syracuse wants to do right now.
Well, it's not quite the 4 corner, but it's still pretty far out. There's Braddock's long shot. He makes it. He comes through here with some important points. 63-50. North Carolina by 13, equaling the largest lead, which they had earlier, and Syracuse calls timeout. And the fans are in the game. So we've got a timeout on the floor with 9:23 to go in the ball game. It's North Carolina 63 and Syracuse 50. Well, back to the Charlotte Coliseum, and dark times at the moment for the Orange, trailing by 13, 63 to 50. By the way, a reminder now, Monday night's game in the Carrier Dome, when we're going to have 30,000 or so, is a doubleheader. The Syracuse women host Massachusetts in the first game, and that's at 5:30. Then, of course, the Orange and Georgetown in the 8 o'clock game. So it's one ticket for both, and you might want to come on in and watch the girls play and watch the whole evening of great basketball. Addison out to Routens. Back to Addison. Bruin from the side. No good long. Rebound, however, Sandiford trying to get a shot up and misses. Rebound, Addison hooks it up and around, and it's in there now. I don't even know who they got it, but we'll take it. 11-point lead. Doherty still takes it back wide.
That could have been a break for Syracuse. The ball looked like it was on the offensive rim, but they were battling. They got 3 rebounds back, and there's still time. Now, it looks like they're going into the stall game.
I'm temporarily awarding that to Addison. I have to agree with you. I just didn't want to say about the offense on the rim. It was a very close one. Double teaming, almost intercepted.
Carolina is definitely looking for the high percentage shot.
They've got the 11 points.
Possibly a layup, and Syracuse is trying to double team and force them into some errors.
Well, we're at 8:30 in the game to go. Coming up on 8 minutes to go and down 11.
So it's going to be tough for
Peterson blocks. Sandiford stole it. Let's see what he can do with it. He's got Addison on the left, and the ball's stolen from behind. He recovers it. Underneath, we got a whistle and a foul, and that was going to be charged, I believe, to Buzz Peterson, number 22. We'll take another look as Sandiford got it back. Then Peterson came down.
Peterson
Oh, boy, did
right
he
on
ever.
his arm.
He really came in.
Actually, that turned out to be a good foul. Peterson noticed there was a layup underneath, and he made a real good move.
All right, there's still no problems with Carolina in foul, so it's a possession. And into the game, Waldron returns for Syracuse. As we recall that Hawkins has already fouled out of the ball game. Carolina by 11. Red Bruin outside Waldron, far side Sandiford. Back to Red. He drives, stops, fakes the jumper, takes up, the ball stolen. And a defensive play by Michael Jordan. Pass breaks to Braddock.
That was as good as a block as I've ever seen, Jim.
Kid's a remarkable athlete. Perkins follow-away shot, short, tapped way high in the air. Sandiford has it. Trying to get a fast one out of it, and he has it deflected out of bounds by Doherty, I believe. Into the game returns Brad Doherty, the big one, 6'11".
So that's Waldron with the ball.
Look at this again, deflected away. And the deflect was by the big fella, Warren Martin, number 54. And he's out of the game, as is Michael Jordan. Karen's into the game for Bruin, for Syracuse, and has the ball.
I'm glad to see Waldron's back. He's rested, and they'll need somebody tough on defense with the
Sean pass underneath a little too hard, too crisp. He was looking for a tight angle to get to Addison, and it couldn't be spinned into him. Quite enough, and the press by the Orange. Perkins gives into Doherty, forward to Braddock. He's out of it. Waldron picks him up. 63-52, 7.5 to go in the ball game. From the Charlotte Coliseum.
As I was saying before, Jim, Dean Smith invented the stall. It's going to be tough for Syracuse to get the ball back.
They're going to call goaltending on Addison. The basket goes to Sam Perkins. He now has 10 points in the ball game. Boy, that Addison went up, but a little too late. Well, we'll take another look at it. Here goes the shot, and there goes Addison. But he had it on the way down. All right, here's Waldron coming up, and it's back to a 13-point lead again for the Carolina Tar Heels. Sandiford out to Waldron, and they're back into his zone. A shot from the side is good by Leo Roughton. And that's only 6 points for Leo, who's been averaging almost 15. Here comes Mr. Jordan. Braddock outside, big Doherty to little Doherty. And they slow it down a bit. We're 65-54, Carolina by 11. There's been no shot clock and no three-point play in this game, although AAC plays all alone underneath. Stopped by Jordan.
Well, Eric Sandiford committed a cardinal sin of basketball. He just turned his head.
Addison having trouble with the ball, and they can't get a shot away. And here comes Braddock. Cairns has it go off his leg and out of bounds. And it's awarded to Syracuse on a last-minute deflection off Perkins. 13-point lead for Carolina, 6:21 to go in the ball game.
Carolina's going into a modified stall where they're just setting a lot of screens and going away from the ball.
All right, into the game is Alexis for Syracuse, replacing Bruin. No, Sandifer. Bruin wasn't in to be replaced. All right, so some youth out on court for the Orange right now. Karen's turnaround shot off the wire, no good. They're not going. Just when you need those buckets, they're not going. That was not a bad shot. Braddock rebounds, brings it up. 6 minutes to go in the game. 13-point lead for the number 18-ranked Tar Heels, who have won 6 in a row after a sputtery start.
Here's the modified stall that keeps the floor well spread. Looking for backdoor plays, quick cuts down the middle off shuffle cut.
Perkins with the ball. Out to Little Doherty. Played by Rouse. Perkins shooting. No good. Rebound. Whistle. Over the top finally, 42. I believe. Yes. Well, it could have been. Also, I believe we're going to see it to be Brad Doherty. Let's see who we find there. There's the shot. Short. We've got position. It was Doherty over top. That's his fourth foul.
Doherty's done his damage already. I think he's the high scorer, and he's probably got the most rebounds.
Well, here we have now Alexis, Wendell Alexis, the freshman from Middle Village, Queens, New York, at the free throw line with a 1-and-1. Syracuse trailing by 13. 5:35 to go. Free throw good. So he'll have the bonus. And just about everything is critical now for the Orange. They're going to have the great D and miss nothing much on the offense. All right, 2 for 2 there. And the horn brings somebody into the ball game, and that's going to be the fellow they like so much, Steve Hale, replacing the senior Braddock. Syracuse pressing. And they got the big fella, Doherty, to throw the ball in, and he does so to Perkins. Double team, comes over here to Jordan, and he's going to be a one-on-oneer. Passes off the driving Hale.
Hale's going to hold it up, and they're going to go into that modified stall again.
So that's going to be a lot of physical exertion going on out there now, chasing after this ball.
See, they pass and they go opposite off a screen, and somebody will break free eventually or get fouled.
Jordan capable of one-on-one, but Alderson is a remarkable young athlete, freshman. Driving, Braddock takes it back out again. 5 exactly to go right now. 5 minutes. 67-56. 11-point lead for the Carolina Tar Heels. And the fans like this down here, you know, this slow stuff. Well, of course, Smith invented it and made it famous. And also, I believe that last television game against Georgetown resulted in some of these 30 and 45-second rules.
But this isn't the famous four-corner stall. It's a modified stall that looks for easy baskets. And the only way Syracuse could defend against it is either a foul
like that
or double team. And when you double team against North Carolina, that opens up easy passes for baskets.
I believe the call was on Roughton. All right, Braddock back into the ball game as we take another look, and it was just a little body, a little hippie there, but nevertheless, that's his fourth foul.
Leo, I think, is a little bit tired.
It's understandable.
They played. Syracuse played a great gutsy ball game, and a lot of the guys have played most of the game.
All right, Doherty with a 1-and-1, 11-point lead for Carolina, 4:36 to go in the game. The free throw by Doherty. Good. Now they're starting to sting a little bit. He's hurt. They have had a bunch of free throws in this ball game.
Doherty also is a remarkable athlete. You got to remember he's 6 foot 8 inches tall, and he handles the ball like a guard 6'1".
This one goes back in for him. 2 for 2, and once again recovering that unlucky number, the 13-point lead. Addison whipping back out to Waldron. He pumps it over Cairns from the side. It's in there. Sean Cairns counters. He's got 10 points, but it's still a 11-point lead, rather. They're trying to double team, and they call a foul on Gene Waldron, his fourth. Well, Boeheim is really upset.
The inevitable has happened. I think Jimmy's got a technical, which to me is really ludicrous, because early in the game when Dean Smith was working the referees over pretty good, nothing happened. Here, all of a sudden, when they still got a shot at the ball game, although it's not a very good shot, a long shot.
Well, here's Doherty shooting the tee. And 4:21 to go. 69-58. Doherty trying to go to a 12-point lead. Does so. And he's got another. Now we've got the officials going over to the official table to check one of the details out. Sonny Sparrows to report into the ball game for the first time. As
there's the old master.
Addison will sit down. 70-58 now, and North Carolina beginning to look pretty happy now with the clock starting to hurt. Here's the other one. And just a fast look. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 24, 28 free throws. Syracuse is, I believe, still ahead on field goals. So here's Braddock missing.
Well, say an insult to injury, Jim.
They call it intentional, eh?
Well, no, it was a two-shot foul, but North Carolina, because of the technical, gets the ball out of bounds.
On top of everything else. 72-58, biggest lead of the game, 15 points. And Carolina certainly can't squawk about the officiating in this ball game. They've had the bulk of the break. Sonny Sparrow now. And Cairns playing a tight double-team defense. They lob it over. Again double-teaming, trying to trap. Oh, underneath all alone. Perkins up and in. Sonny Sparrow hurries into the game, less than 4 minutes to go. Routen's from the side. It's in and out, and that's the way the game is going. When things start going bad for you, the Orange might have this ball. Now let's see what we call.
They called it off of Standifer, kicked it out.
So the Orange stay up to press the best they can. We'll take another look at that scramble on the floor. As the rebound got blocked away, and then he tried to throw it off of Alexis. That didn't work, and finally it went off, and we have a timeout on the court. So with 3:48 to go in the ball game, it's North Carolina 74, Syracuse 58. Well, we see that last one again with a big scramble on the battling for baskets, and then finally another Carolina effect. We've got about 100 rather unhappy fans here in the Coliseum in Charlotte, North Carolina, and about 11,600 very happy ones.
You know,
So yes, all.
I was going to say that that's what you call a home court advantage. You got thousands of screaming fans, and it certainly means quite a bit. It doesn't intimidate referees, but it certainly doesn't hurt.
Well, it's 74-58. They're trying to beat the press with a double team, and he's just hiding the ball down there. Finally lobs it forward, and they got away with it. So with 3:38, they don't even take the almost cinched chippy for Big Doherty. Little Doherty brought it back out. He does handle that ball like a backcourt man at 6'8". He sure does. This is their senior, Braddock. Feeds off, Perkins fakes the shot, comes back out, and the clock winds down. Foul on Santafer. Jordan will be to the line.
Right now, Syracuse is chasing, and they've got only a couple of things to do. Only a few options open. You got a foul, you got a double team.
And just hope that the ball doesn't go in the free throw shot. But Carolinas have had a lot of turns.
And, Jim, they're a little tired to really get into that tough pressing that Carolina is going to make them do.
All right, here's Michael Jordan. And misses one. The rebound is stolen back by Jordan. And again, they keep the clock working. All right, with the tight defense, they're trying to get it. And Jordan comes back out finally and throws it away. Was it deflected? Yes. Sonny Sparrow just touched it.
Well, Jim, I think maybe Dean Smith's strategy did pay off. He used a lot of men early, and Syracuse felt that they could go with some of their iron men, and at a crucial juncture of the game, the last 10 minutes, Syracuse was a little bit tired.
Well, that's Routens, and I believe he's going to be excused for the evening. He's out of here. So Leo goes as well. And with 74-58 and 3:03 to go, Tony Bruin is going to check back in. He's another one in foul trouble. Of course, the Orange have not by any means had the best of the whistles. A ton of fouls. You know, this is a 74-58 game. Dolphin field goals are even at this moment. Even. And the Orange have shot a fine percentage of free throws, but Carolina's had something like 25 more free throws.
Syracuse got nothing to be ashamed of. You know, you can't play great basketball game and then game out. They're only playing one of the top teams in the country in their home court against terrific odds. And I think they'll be ready for Georgetown on Monday night.
That'll be certainly a different circumstance with 30,000 streaming the other direction. Free throw 2 for 2 there for Doherty. And it's 76-58, and this one's about the way it's going to be, I guess. Cairns all the way deep, high. Sandifer from outside. He got it. Erich is going to be high for the Orange by quite a bit with 2:45 to go and a 16-point deficit and a foul in underneath.
Well, Sonny Spira is in there now, and he's got about 4 fouls to give, and he'll probably do a lot of the chasing.
Yeah, here's Jordan just coming up nice and easy on this one. And Sonny gets him on the arms from behind, as we see. Jordan to the free throw line.
The Syracuse has got to take impossible chances, hoping for...
well, almost miracle now, yes. Steals and missing of free throws, but they've haven't been missing too many. Missed that one. Rebound Sandifer. Got to hurry. 2:40 to go in the ball game.
I'd like to see somebody just take it to the hole, go hard to the basket, maybe they can get a 3-point play.
There's the shot blocked that picked off by Alexis, shoots and misses. The rebound off the backboard back to Sandifer. He throws up a long one. Good. .22 points now for Sandifer. And they're fast break this one. And he shoots and misses. Rebound is up and short again. And they're still the big guys control the ball, and they call it off. 76 and 62.
Alexis was really battling under the boards. It went off his hands. This is excellent.
Jordan's out. Hale is in.
Excellent experience for Alexis and Spira playing against a club like North Carolina in this crucial type of a situation.
Bad call on Hale. Bus Peterson's 22 comes into the ball game. Braddock's going to feed in. Comes out deep to Big Doherty, back in there. And they're still going with Perkins. And 2 minutes to go in the ball game. And it's 76-62, North Carolina on the way to their 7th straight victory. And the Orange on the way to their very first loss of the year in quite a strapping game here before almost 12,000 capacity in the Charlotte Coliseum. Another foul on Spira, as you anticipated. And, of course, they'll be back up the free throw line. Addison returns for Spira. And Addison is not in foul trouble as well. 1:49 to go. And don't forget, doubleheader Monday night with the Syracuse women hosting Massachusetts at 5:30. 1 ticket for the whole evening, and then, of course, the big Syracuse Georgetowner. All right, there'll be a big one for Perkins going out. John Brownlee, a 6'10 sophomore from Fort Worth, Texas, into the ball game, replacing Perkins.
Jim Perkins is the acknowledged star of North Carolina, but if I were to pick the star of the game, I'd have to pick co-stars. I'd have to pick both Hale and Big Doherty, the 2 freshmen that Syracuse didn't figure to hurt him as much as they hurt him tonight.
Well, also, I'd have to throw one in. That's why they make horse races, Dolph. We have differences of opinion. I think this Michael Jordan is one of the very keys to the cohesiveness of this North Carolina club. He's so capable, all facets. At any rate, it's going to be Peterson, number 22, Buzz Peterson, 6'4 sophomore from Asheville, North Carolina, at the free throw line. 1:49 to go, and Carolina leading 76-62. Syracuse, of course, nowhere near their average offense. Didn't really figure to get that many points against this Carolina effort. Peterson scores. It's his first point. And he'll have another. Hale is going to finish up the ball game when they get him in. And this free throw is good, and they're going to get him in. So Hale replaces the senior, Jim Braddock. 78-62. Carolina in command, but still a good ball game. Sparrow waits for midcourt to keep the clock from starting. Trying to save every precious second. Addison driving, shooting, and scoring. The fine freshman Raphael Addison from Jersey City now has 8 points. Syracuse pressing all of it. Double teaming here, but they break and loosen out of Hale. He's going to make the 10-second line, all right. What they do with it once they're underneath. Sparrow almost on a steal, but loses it back. Driving shot is no good, and they're going to allow it. The foul on Syracuse, I believe, is Karen. And another one coming into the game is Warren Smith, a 6'11 sophomore.
Right now, Dean Smith is clearing his bench.
Foul charged to Sparrow instead, so no foul trouble there for anybody going out of the ball game. And we have Little Doherty, at 6'8", the junior from East Meadow, New York. Now that's yes, that's correct. And he shoots and scores. He was the fellow they put in for the technical. So we're on the second half of the 1-1. A minute 18 to go. It's up and in. And into the game comes another new face, Cecil Exum from Dudley, North Carolina, replacing Doherty. This fellow's a junior at 6'6". They don't get any smaller when this Carolina starts substitution. Red Bruin fakes a shot, comes out to Sparrow for a one-hander. It's off the rim, no good. Rebound underneath the scramble. Jump ball, who's possession. It's going to go against Syracuse. If that's what I got, if it is the jump. It'll be Carolina's ball on possession, alternation. And we're 1:07 to go. All right, they get it in. And the ball's deflected. Addison underneath, steals and blocked on his shot by John Hunley. All the way. And what have we got? Another whistle underneath. Now it's getting a little on the tough side now, because it doesn't about anything Carolina can do now that would cause a problem or be even considered a mistake. The foul on Karen. And that's 4 on Sean.
Well, this one referee, Belgry, hasn't helped Syracuse very much all game long.
All right, big Warren Martin scores his 3rd point, and he'll have another coming. It's in the hole. Carolina roars out to an 18-point lead. And we have 52 seconds to go, and Syracuse has suffered its first loss. Addison tries to flip one up. That doesn't work. Carolina, after the rebound, we get a whistle. I think it's Karen's again. Not certain yet. At any rate, we have a timeout on the court, and it's 82-64, Carolina leading. All right, well, Dolph.
Well, it wasn't much of a foul. I mean, it was a little bump foul, considering there's only 50 seconds to go in a 20-point ball game. I kind of wonder sometimes why they don't let those little bumps go and get the game over with.
All right, so Karen fouls out, and no timeout. Addison replaces, and I believe Eric Sandifer is going to get back in as well. So Sandifer comes for whom?
Well, Sandifer will be in for Karen. Karen
yes.
just fouled out of the game.
Right. All right, this is Hale up at the game, at the free throw line, and 1-1 he makes.
They might do no wrong tonight.
No, they can't miss anything. Now, it would look as though maybe Dean Smith can give him a few minutes off of free throw shooting practice next time around. Hale, the left-hander. All hail, Hale. 2 more points. And it's now 20. And funny, though, the second half was nowhere near as good as the first, as far as the Orange are concerned, but it wasn't funny a blowout, really, until now we got a lot of jumping and tossing in there. I think we're finally going to get a whistle against North Carolina. They have a 20-point lead.
Yeah, they call it against Big Martin.
And we're going to take another look at this bumping around here. Actually, Bruin over top there for a second, but then it was in here.
Yeah,
That's
Martin.
the big guy. Yeah, Martin. Got Addison, eh? Yeah. So Rayfield gets to the free throw line. And a 1-on-1 is no good. The rebound is Carolina's Exum. Throws the ball high, but it's recovered by big Warren Martin. Stolen away from him. Here's Alexis all the way to Sparrow. Fumbles the pass out of bounds. And the whistle is going to be a deflect off Carolina, I believe. So we're we're down to 23 seconds. Well, it was a whale of a first half, I'll tell you. But the second half, after an early Syracuse start, things just did not go right.
Well, you know what killed Syracuse was those two charging calls, the two blocking calls. They were 6-point plays.
Gus Peterson gets that one and is also fouled on the play. Seems like we've said that a lot tonight. Well, maybe the reverse next year, Dolph, when the officials come out of the ACC to come up to Syracuse when Carolina plays, because Carolina didn't suffer a bit from these three ECAC officials from the north
Jim,
tonight.
there's 14 seconds to play, and to me, that wasn't much of a foul, if any, and yet it's a blowout kind of a game right now, and I just don't see a good official making that kind of a call.
You're the one that said they were good officials. Here's throwing. No good on the shot. Nothing's going for the Orange now. 4 seconds. Timeout. Carolina ball. And at the moment, it's 87-64. Looking to get it in. He does so, and Martin fumbles around, and the ball game is over. So we go from a 35-35 half and then a 40-40 tie early in the second. Syracuse to an early 4-point lead in both halves. But then Carolina, with the depth and everything going right, just came on to a final of 87-64. A very dominant victory and their 7th in a row. Now we'll be back with